everybody, it's Marilyn and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to work on part 2 of the Christmas album I am making with the Stamperia Sweet Christmas Collection, I believe it's called. And if you recall, we did our outer cover when I last saw you, and now we're going to bend that up slowly. You only want it like a 45-degree bend, or not 45, 90-degree bend in those. And I've already been working on this. I like to use my bone folder down in the crease when I'm gently pulling my fold, because I don't want it to pop up. If it pops up, that looks really bad, and that keeps it from popping up so much. And if you recall, I put extra adhesive along the sides here to keep that from popping also. So this is what it will look like in the end for the closure. So there's different ways of making closures for these. You can use ribbon, which I have some ribbon here. You would glue the ribbon down here into here and leave a length to tie it together. You would have to find a way to cover that. You could put pink bows on it to cover it. You could, if this was just a white background, then you could put decorative paper over top the ribbon, and then they would not see the ending of the ribbon. Another way that they close these albums is this here. This is a very vintage looking latch. I love this. This is the one I put on my mom's album. And it comes with little screws, so you would have to really build up your chipboard if you were going to use the screws. Other people use the brads to hold it in. And you would want to have this in one piece like this. Hold it over where you're going to put it on your album. Mark just one side. Take it off, use an awl or a really heavy duty punch to punch those holes. Put your brad through, pull your brad tight, open it on the other side. And you want to use decorative paper to cover that opening again. Then put this back together so that you can get the other side totally in the right place, and then mark your markings and do the same thing on that side to hook that side down. This is not as, I wouldn't think, as durable as what I'm going to do, because as I said, my granddaughters are going to be into this album, I'm sure, because their pictures are going to be in it. So I'm doing something a little different. I am going to make a paper closure on the front that I'm using, and I'll show you about that. So first I had to pick a picture, and I took all my cut aparts from the one page in there, and I looked at these and trying to decide what I wanted to use, because it will be the main focus on the front. I decided to use this one. Has the music sheet behind it and the roses. The roses will go well with the main cover. I cut a piece of cardstock a 1/4 inch wider and a 1/4 inch, a little more than a 1/4 inch longer than this piece. And then I cut this piece. It's going to go over top to cover this. And when this is covered and it comes over to the top, we will glue this down on top of it. It will have that blue border around it. We will connect it on one side of the album, and I'm going to use these clear Velcro adhesive circles. I'm going to put several of them down here and use that to close my album. That way the girls can just, you know, easily open it, easily close it. It won't be a big deal. So, and we're also going to put our pages into our album. These are 8 1/4 by 10 inches, and I scored them at a 1/2 inch, and we will be folding those on the score line and putting them in the album. First, I want to get this part done so it can start drying. And as per my usual, I measured up and over so I can get this perfectly centered in there how I want it. So I'm going to use some of my art glitter glue. And I'm using the fine tip again to make sure that I don't buckle my paper. And we're going to line this up and put it down. I'm going to close this back up. Then I'm going to take my score tape. I'm going to go around here and around here. Okay, we're going to just press this down really good on this side, make sure our glue is well adhered, and we're going to start just kind of folding up on these, starting to get our paper ready to fold over. This will help prevent the cracking if we start stretching it a little. Okay. Now we need to miter our corners again, and we leave about 1/8 of an inch so that our chipboard does not stick out at all. All right, that off to the side. Now we're going to start with the long sides again also, but first we want to burnish down our tape. Make sure it's well adhered to everything. Okay. We're going to take our tape up the covering, come up at the middle and press down. And we're going to do the other long side. Come up at the middle and press down. We want to press with our bone folder, make sure this is burnished down. Okay, now we're going to take up this tape here, since it's underneath part of this, so we'll take that up. Got a piece there that does not want to come off. It's part of the covering of that tape, and I want that out of there. Just push it under, maybe that'll work. Maybe not. Well, as May says, I'm not going to stress about it. So now we need to push in on these corners. And you can use your bone folder for this, or I use my thumbnail. You don't want to push hard. You don't want to rip it. You just want it pushed in so that it will cover the end of your chipboard when you bring this up. Come up to through the center and out. And then we're going to burnish this down. I'm going to do the same on this side. Got a stray piece of chipboard sitting there. There, got rid of that. And now we're gonna pull this up, come up at the center, and push down. And we want to make sure these are all burnished down. Okay, now we have an upside. It looks like this is, the writing is going that way, so this is our direction. And we're going to put art glitter glue on here and glue this down. You want to get way up to the edge with the glue. It dries clear, so if some of it gets onto the other piece, you just wipe it off and it will dry clear. You'll never know it was there. We want to get as evenly to the edges, because that is our border, as we can. Close up my glue so it doesn't dry out on me. And then another thing we can do with this that I think would be absolutely perfect is to use some whisk of Stella, or wink of Stella, I guess it's called, and it will give some shimmer to some things. And I think I want to give a little shimmer to the flowers on here. So comes in this pen. You just kind of gently squeeze a little to get it out there where you want it. This one is the clear, so it's going to just dry with a clear type of glitter wherever you put it. And it's very subtle, so it's not overdone. It's very pretty. I'm just working on mostly the roses here. And I think I'm going to put a little on the holly leaves up here, His, I don't know, holly leaves always seem to have some glitter on them when you see them in decorations. Somebody's glittered them. Kind of reminiscent of the old vintage Christmas. Like I said, I don't want too much. I want enough that, you know, it catches the light. Especially at Christmas time when the Christmas lights are on, it'll just kind of catch that light. A little here on the bow. Let me do a little of this leaves here. I may end up doing all the flowers. I don't know. We shall see what I feel like. Kind of helps things just kind of stand out a little without being overdone. Okay. And you're probably not able to see a whole lot of this on the camera because, like I said, it's very, very subtle. But when it dries, it has just a nice little subtle shimmer. All right, so we're going to set that aside and let that dry. And while we're letting that dry, we're going to get our pages ready to go in our book. Okay, and like I said, these are scored at a 1/2 inch. So we're gonna fold them on that 1/2 inch, and these are bone folder to make it a good crisp fold. Okay, so now we're going to start putting our pages in our book. And we're going to kind of want to know what side is the front and what is up. So the writing is going, so it's this way, this would be upwards, so. And each page will have a 1/2 inch gusset. And we're going to start with this side. We're going to put our art glitter glue along the edge of the page. Make sure we have plenty of glue on there to hold it in place. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to mark. Need to mark, or I will not have anything in place evenly. So we're going to do that first. And this is actually a quilting ruler, but it has a lot of little notches that are very helpful for me for lining up album pages. So I think right there looks perfect. And we're just going to put a very light line along there to follow. So we get our pages in there perfectly. So I'm gonna bring you over just a hair because I'm probably out of frame. And we're gonna go down on that line and close to the fold here. Make sure this line is straight. Put it down. Okay. We're going to take our next one. And get our glue on there. Gonna line it up with this down here and with our page so that we have the correct spacing here. Gonna go down and bring it up and press like that. Okay. Now some people use their score tape to do this, and if you saw my one video, score tape and I have a love-hate relationship. I love score tape. It holds really well, as was very well demonstrated in that. I accidentally dropped it and it dropped on my project. I was able to save the project but not that particular page because the score tape just pulled everything when I was picking it up. So yeah, so if I'm not totally sure I'm going to get exactly where I want to be, I will use the art glitter glue. It gives me a little bit of time to move stuff. It's a little bit forgiving. Score tape, not so much. Okay, and this is the last page for this side. So the way I do my gatefold album covers comes from Corrine of Corrine's Creations. She has an absolutely fabulous channel. You need to check her out. And the way I'm doing the hinges in here comes from Shelley Geigel, and she has a fabulous channel that you really do need to check out. So now we're going to go over here and do this side. And this time you're going to be facing the other way. Because we're going to come into the book. So we're going to press this down near the fold. Okay, and now I'm going to turn it around and do the rest of them. one more page. And this will close like you fold one in, fold the other side, then the other side, the other side, then this side. And it comes up like this. And it closes here. And you have 1/2 inch gussets between everything except the very top page cover. So now we're gonna get ready to put our front closure on here. And so how I'm gonna do this is I am gonna measure and I'm gonna find the halfway point. So it's almost 4 inches across. So just shy of the 2 is gonna be the halfway. Same down here. So we're gonna put glue on one side, just on the halfway mark here. I'm going to put you back where you belong here so that hopefully you have a better view. And we're going to go on this side and kind of eyeball what's halfway up. We're going to just hold that in place. Let that dry a minute. While that's drying, I'm going to start putting my Velcro circles on this part. Okay, they don't come already stuck together, so I'm going to stick them together here. Let's see, we'll cut this. Like that. Cut this side. Like that. Then we're going to take one side off of the sticky and we're going to stick it down. And then we're going to take this side of the sticky off. Make sure this is going to stay down. Okay. We're going to bring it up. Line up the edges here, make sure we're in the right place, and bring it down. I'm going to sneak my hand in there, press that down. So it should just come up, and it did, yay. Success! Not used this kind of closure before, so I was a little leery. And we're going to close it back up. And we're going to let everything dry and let the album sit like this to get its memory of how I want it to fold. We'll let the inside papers dry where they need to be. I will finish this album, and when I am finished, I will give you a viewing. I'll do just a walkthrough of how it looks and what I've come up with. So I will see you then. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more of my videos, please hit that subscribe button and come back and see me again, especially to see the end of this video. I'm thinking I want to do Christmas in July this coming week and do a few Christmas projects that most crafters are thinking about Christmas this time of year, because we're getting ready for our fall and winter shows that may or may not happen this year. It's hard to say. So far my winter show has not been canceled, but the virus is starting to rear its ugly head pretty strongly right now in our area, so it may end up canceled. I don't know, but we shall see. And comment below what your favorite kind of crafts are. I would really like to know what you like doing when you're crafting. So I'll see you next time, and happy crafting, everyone. Have a good day.